Good morning, dear students. Welcome to this science class. Today, we continue our discussion on chapter 1, that is chemical reactions and equations. In today's class, you will learn about another type of chemical reaction that is known as displacement reaction. Let's go for an activity. Take 3 iron nails and clean them by rubbing with sandpaper. Take 2 test tubes marked as A and B. In each test tube, take about 10 ml copper sulfate solution. The 2 iron nails with a thread and immerse them carefully in the copper sulfate solution in test tube B for about 20 minutes. Keep one iron nail aside for comparison. 2 iron nails are immersed in the copper sulfate solution taken in test tube B. After 20 minutes, take out the iron nails from the copper sulfate solution. Then compare the intensity of the blue color of the copper sulfate solution test tubes A and B. Also compare the color of the iron nails dipped in the copper sulfate solution with one kept aside. Here you can see the copper sulfate solution before the experiment and copper sulfate solution after the experiment. And the color of the iron nail taken out from the copper sulfate solution. Why does the iron nail become brownish color and the blue color of the copper sulfate solution fade? Here, the following chemical reaction is taking place. Iron reacts with the copper sulfate and form iron sulfate and copper. Here, iron displaced copper from the copper sulfate solution. So, iron has displaced or removed another element copper from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. So let us define displacement reaction. A displacement reaction is the one when a more reactive substance displaces a less reactive one from its salt solution. Here, iron is more reactive than copper, therefore, iron displaced copper from copper sulfate solution. Let us see some other examples of displacement reactions. Zinc plus copper sulfate forms zinc sulfate plus copper. Here, zinc is more reactive than copper and displaces copper from the copper sulfate. Another example, lead from copper chloride. Here, lead displaces copper from the copper chloride. So, zinc and lead are more reactive elements than copper, therefore, they displace copper from its compounds. Now, let us see double displacement reaction. Take about 3 ml of sodium sulfate solution in a test tube. In another test tube, take about 3 ml of barium chloride solution. In one test tube, take 3 ml sodium sulfate solution. Another test tube, take 3 ml of barium chloride. Mix both the solutions. You will observe that a white substance which is insoluble in water is formed. This insoluble substance formed is known as precipitate. So any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called as precipitation reaction. Any reaction that produces a precipitate is known as precipitation reaction. Here you can see the reaction. Sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. So double displacement is occurring here. Barium sulfate and sodium chloride is formed. The reactants are sodium sulfate and barium chloride. The products are barium sulfate and sodium chloride. The white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed by the reaction of SO4 2 minus ion and Ba2 plus ions. The other product formed is sodium chloride, which remains in the solution. Such a reaction in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called double displacement reaction. So, in the reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called double displacement reactions. Now, oxidation and reduction. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram of copper powder. The surface of the copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. Why the color change occurred here? This is because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. This is a reaction. Copper reacts with oxygen to form copper cupric oxide. So copper oxide is formed. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated metal, the black coating on the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained. You can see the reaction here. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, that means over copper oxide, then you will get copper and water. So reverse reaction is taking place. So if substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. And if a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. And if a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. During this reaction, that means copper oxide plus hydrogen, copper plus water. In this reaction, copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced. Copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced. The hydrogen is gaining, here hydrogen gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. In other words, one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Such reactions are called oxidation reduction reactions or redox reaction. Here you can see the example. Here copper oxide is reduced to copper and hydrogen is oxidized to water. You can see here. So both the reactions are taking, both oxidation and reduction reactions are taking place. Such kind of reactions are called redox reactions. Let us see some other examples. Zinc oxide reacts with carbon and you can see zinc and carbon monoxide is formed. Here you can see carbon is oxidized to form carbon monoxide and zinc oxide is reduced to zinc. And here also another example, manganese oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. You can see manganese chloride and water and chlorine. You can see hydrochloric acid is oxidized to chlorine, whereas manganese oxide is reduced to manganese chloride. So these are the examples of redox reactions. Now let us see corrosion and rancidity. Have you observed the effects of oxidation reaction in everyday life? Let us see some effects. You must have observed that iron articles are shiny when new, but got coated with a reddish brown powder when left for some time. This process is commonly known as rusting of iron. We are familiar with this phenomenon. Some other metals also get tarnished in this manner. Have you noticed the color of the coating formed on copper and silver? When a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture, acids, etc., it is said to corrode, and this process is called corrosion. When a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture, acids, etc., it is said to corrode, and this process is called corrosion. The black coating on silver and the green coating on copper are the other examples of corrosion. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and all objects made of metals, especially those of iron. Corrosion of iron is a serious problem that we know. Every year, an enormous amount of money is spent to replace damaged iron. This is one effect of oxidation. You can see some examples of corrosion. You can see corrosion of iron, corrosion of copper, corrosion of zinc, and corrosion of aluminium. You can see the examples, and this is corrosion of iron. It's rusting of iron. You can see here. The second effect of oxidation is rancidity. Have you ever tasted or smelled the fat or oil containing food materials left for a long time? When food items are kept open for a long period, the fats and oils present in them get oxidized and their smell and taste changes. They become rancid and this process is called rancidity. Usually, substances which prevent oxidation are added to foods containing fats and oil. Keeping food in airtight containers help to slow down oxidation. These are the two effects of oxidation, corrosion, and rancidity. Dear students, this is all for today's class. Today we completed chapter 1. Thank you.